I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas.
Hello everyone, Uncle Charles Walhingford back again with another marriage and relationship video. And this video, I'm going to tell you what you really need to consider, the things you really need to look at, and the strategic way of buying the engagement ring. A lot of times people don't give good advice, don't give advice you can actually use. And I said, I got to start making videos, and that's how this happens. So let me tell you my philosophy and my tactics on how I purchased my wedding ring myself. Sadly enough, like I said just now, there's not enough people to help you out. My father wasn't there to help me out. My mother, I really didn't want to go to her because women don't really get it. They don't. And this is, I would say, the hardest thing you will ever do as far as marriage when it comes to the big decision, because you're doing it. You're really, really doing it. Saying I do was easy. Buying that ring, that was the most difficult thing, because it should be for most men, it should be the most amount of money you've ever spent on a woman. And you're not going to reap any benefits, really any benefits from it. So what's the first thing? How much should you spend? Three-month salary is too much, guys. Don't go all out for that ring. Do not go all out. Of course, you want to get her the nicest thing. Of course, you love her to death and she wants to feel like a princess and all those good things. But if you go all out, you're going to be putting yourself into too much debt too early. One of the things that's going to destroy a marriage is two things that destroy a marriage. One of them is finances. The other one you probably can guess, sex. Sex with the wrong person, too many kids, or not enough. That's how you can end up with a bad relationship. You can end up with a divorce and everything else. But the other side is money and finances. You don't want to put yourself in a hard, rock in a hard place early. So I would recommend 1 month salary. 1 month salary, because you want to be able to pay that off relatively easy. Here's the real big reason. Here's a big reason that only black belts know this, and only people who've been in good, strong relationships and people who are happily married absolutely know. You gotta give yourself some space, some leeway, the ability to upgrade that ring. Whatever ring you get her should not be the first ring. It should be the second. It may be, you may end up getting her a third ring. So after a couple years, maybe around 10 to 15, that engagement ring needs to be upgraded. Why? Well, here's the big reason. Because now she deserves it. That's one of the big reasons why you shouldn't go all out, because honestly, guys, she doesn't deserve it yet. She doesn't. But 10 years in, maybe 15 years in, now she deserves it. Now she earned her stripes. She made your life better for sure. Absolutely. You're not just being poetic. No, she gave you some kids. She's helped raise your kids. You guys have most likely, you've been there together for at least 10 years. You've been through some hard times. It's about time. It is about time to get her an upgrade. So 10 to 15 years, you're going to have to upgrade. And when you upgrade, of course, it's going to cost more. Of course, you're going to have some inflation. So you got to give yourself the ability to upgrade it. So if you get the ring that's too big, too expensive, you're going to price yourself out of an upgrade. You got to consider her size. Guys, unfortunately, you can't get her some itty bitty microscopic thing either. If it's say for an example less than a half carat, you probably shouldn't get married. Now that's not 100%. You might be under a situation where, you know what, you need to get married. You need to get married right now. It makes perfect sense. She doesn't care about that thing at all. She just wants to be your wife, and it's 1960 because a lot of that stuff doesn't apply today. But that's the case. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, you can get her something small, but a half carat is kind of the smallest thing you should get. However, you may be able to get her a half carat if she's a little woman. That's the biggest thing you have to look at. How big is she compared to how large that rock is going to be? If you have a WNBA player, you're going to have to do probably around 3 carats. You have a woman that's a big woman, she's 200 pounds plus, you're going to have to do at least 3 carats. Now, if you got a regular, like a medium size to small, 1 carat is enough, or big. 1 carat may be big, or a carat and a half is big enough. The big thing is you have to consider how big she is. Now, your budget, don't worry about your budget. Your budget is what your budget is. You can get her a big ring and stay within your budget for the most part, because the ring price is based upon size, is based upon the clarity of the diamond itself, meaning can you see the inclusions? How big are the inclusions? Are there pieces of coal you literally can see in it? And then the color of the diamond, if the diamond, how white the diamond is. Now, how white the diamond is really doesn't matter, because no woman is going to compare another woman's diamond to see the color. They will be able to see how big that rock is compared to each other, but most of the time it's very difficult to see the color unless you put it right next to each other. And I've never seen a woman do that. And a woman who would do that, these women don't like each other. These women probably really hate each other. Now, we all know women can dislike each other and be friends. So that, that it can happen, but I've never heard of or seen anything like that take place. So if it's any part that you can cut costs on, and you need to get that ring bigger, cut costs on the color. The clarity also you can cut costs on, because inclusions don't mean anything. You can't see inclusions. You can see the coal though. I went out years ago before I proposed to my wife. I did look through that loop and see actual black pieces of coal in a stone. Yeah, you can't have that. You definitely can't have that. But other than that, you can have inclusions all day. She's not going to care. She really doesn't care. A lot of times they really just care about the size. But if you have the money and she's not a big woman, I would advise getting the clearest, whitest diamond you can possibly get. But if you have a bigger woman and your budget is small, you're going to have to spend money on that larger rock, because her hand is so big. You don't want that. A carat on my wife, for an example, looks big because she's little. But a carat on a woman maybe over 6 foot tall, because her hands are bigger, it's going to look bad. If she shows any type of disappointment in the ring, that's a sign that you need to really be worried about. Now, if she's disappointed because you didn't listen to her, and you didn't listen to this video, you didn't care about what cut diamond she wanted, you didn't care about what kind of setting she wants in the color of the metal that's in the setting, and you did a very poor job of dropping the question on her. Other than that, she should be ecstatic. She should go crazy. She should be like all the rest of those videos you see on YouTube where she goes crazy. Now, here's the thing. If she's disappointed, you have to consider, or she has to consider this, and you have to consider getting the hell out if these things are taking place. What I'm getting at is she should not be disappointed based upon what's around her. What does her mother's ring look like? So you might have to gauge how nice and big her mother's ring is, sorta. But if she has a father, a husband, the mother has a husband that's a great man, he might have upgraded her a couple times. You might have to ask her about that if it's really big. But what does her mother have? How many people are married today? It's literally 50%. A lot of people aren't married today. It's a lot of divorce, a lot of separations, and a lot of people who have never been married. So if her mother isn't married, never been married, divorced, she's not going to wear her engagement ring. So you're good. You can get her whatever the hell you want to get her, honestly. Her friends, same kind of scenario, same kind of situation. Her sisters, same kind of scenario, same kind of situation. Now, if nobody around her is in a happy, loving relationship and she doesn't go nuts about that ring, good. You've learned something. You've learned something, guys. Or young men, young man, you've learned something. If she's disappointed and her mother is single and can't keep a man, her sisters are single, can't keep a man, her friends are single, can't keep a man, and she's disappointed in her ring at any point, you got a problem, guy. You got a problem. You got to get out. That's the final straw, the final test. She should be going crazy, going nuts, crying, excited, and you have to tell her you got to take it off eventually, and she should be fighting you to keep it on her hand. She should want to wear it all the damn time and never take it off. That's how it should be. If that's not the case, well, you learned a valuable lesson, sir. Get that ring back, take it back, get your money back, because she ain't the one. All right, guys, that's it. I hope this helped you out. Hope this helped you with your considerations. And I know people don't do videos like this. That's why I felt I needed to do that and help you guys. Like I say in all my videos, and I keep repeating it over and over again, I'm Uncle Charles Walhingford. I'm just here to help.